So welcome to part 6 of our biology revision series, and we shall talk about today genotype and phenotype. Genotype and phenotype. So what is genotype and what is phenotype? I cannot know your genotype unless I see your phenotype. In other words, what do I mean? Phenotype is an outward appearance of the genotype. Outward appearance of the genotype. And what is a genotype? Genotype simply means genetic constitution of an organism. Genetic constitution of an organism. How do we denote genotype in writing? We normally denote genotype of an organism. Using letters, and these letters are normally in pairs. And of such a pair is normally which forms part of the allele. So genotypes, they exist in various ways. We can say the genotype is dominant for a certain characteristic, or we can say it is recessive for the characteristic. So there's certain terms I want to introduce to you, which will help you in understanding the questions which is normally examinable in KCSE level. So we can begin here by outlining the terms we are normally going to focus with regard to genotype. We can have something like dominant homozygous for a particular trait, or you can have dominant heterozygous for a particular trait, and you can have recessive. Recessive normally occurs in homozygous form. We're saying genotype is denoted by using a pair of letters. For example, I can use T, that is the genotype of a subject. For example, if I say T is for height, let's say for skin color or skin complexion, maybe I say letter S to represent. So this one is the gene. Then the genotype has two alleles, which could be S, S, or S, S. Or this one can be also like this. We have gene for T, letter T to represent gene for height. Then the allele can be like this or like this. So if we are to use this one and come and put them here, we can say dominant homozygous. Dominant homozygous. Let's say for a trait like height, we can say dominant homozygous, it is capital T, capital T. Dominant heterozygous, we can say it is capital T, small t. Then recessive homozygous, we can say, when we focus still on the characteristic of height, we can say it is small t, small t. So when you go deeper, you can say this one is a pure breed. It is pure breed, tall, pure breed. Then this one actually it is not, it is impure, because in the genotype of this individual phenotypically this individual is tall. Also phenotypically this individual is tall. But this individual has an allele for shortness, which is denoted using small t. This person is phenotypically short because the genotype of this individual is small t, small t. What was I saying in the beginning of this lesson? I said like this: that we can know the genotype of an individual by observing the phenotype, because phenotype is the outward appearance of the individual. Phenotype is the outward appearance of the individual. So basically, this is how we normally denote the genotype of an individual. And that forms now our good foundation when we're going to use genetic crosses and Punnett square to show how these genes are being transmitted from the individual, from the parents to the offsprings. So that marks our end of our lesson for this moment. So next time when we meet, now going to focus now on genetic crosses and Punnett square and engage these letters to see how they're involved in showing how actually genes are being transmitted and which kind of genes are being transmitted. Perhaps this one has explained to you that when you see someone is tall, that means in their genotype they are either homozygous tall or heterozygous tall. We're going to see we're going to seek much deeper as we go by. So that marks the end of our lesson. And the assignments has been attached on this link. Make sure you attempt them and give us feedback on the email which I gave you on the first part of this discussion. Thank you very much. So welcome to part 6 of our biology revision series, and we shall talk about today